hope it's not too late in the year to wish you a happy new year. My name is Brian Jojotieno. Welcome to Techover, the show that discusses all things technology, the very first episode for this year. I am super excited for so many reasons. I'm going to tell you why. We are here on this show to discuss the tech trends that are going to shape 2024 and beyond, and have a recap of 2023, what you need to look out for this year, and so much more. But first, before that, let's give you the tech news of the week. Bill Gates' Microsoft ended Friday's US trading session as the most valuable publicly traded company, surpassing Apple after briefly topping the iPhone maker during intraday trading on Thursday. Shares of Microsoft climbed more than 3% for the week, bringing the company's market cap to $2.89 trillion, while Apple's stock dropped by over 3%.
Phones were so different back in the day.
Remember? That's crazy!
Get ready for a new era of mobile as Samsung launches Galaxy AI, a new key feature in its flagship mobile device offering. Samsung is adopting the new AI, perhaps the biggest tech disruption, with its new offering in the Wednesday, the 17th of January 2024 global launch event that will go live at 9 p.m. East African time. Keep it here for a full unveiling and a back-to-back review of the features of what the all-new Galaxy AI has to offer. Ride-hailing application Bolt has introduced the offline option, where riders can go offline on the driver's request. Riders can now use the new feature when drivers request that they go offline by selecting the option the driver asked to pay off the app in App's Safety Toolkit. They can use it if a driver requests that the rider cancel the trip and communicate offline, or demands payment beyond the pre-arranged fare. Finally, MultiChoice-owned streaming platform Showmax unveiled the content slate for the revamped version of Showmax 2.0. Due to launch in February, Showmax will feature 1,300 hours of original African content and the continent's first standalone Premier League mobile streaming plan. With the relaunch, Showmax will build on the current momentum that has seen it eclipse Netflix as the continent's leading platform. The success of Showmax 2.0 will also bode well for parent company MultiChoice, which has been fighting off a plummeting share price, investment write-downs, market exits, and the decline in subscribers of its bread and butter service DSTV. Very well then, now you're up to speed with what's happening, or what was happening in the previous week that was in the tech world. Time now for that discussion that I promised you on the tech trends to watch out for in 2024. Let's do a forecast. I'm now joined by Abraham Boothia, who is the CEO and founder of UserPoint. He'll be talking to us about his personal views about the tech space in 2023 and now 2024 and what it's going to mean. Abraham, thank you so much for making time for us on NTV. We're glad you made it. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Abraham Boothia. I'm the CEO and founder of UserPoint. At UserPoint, we are typically helping the small and medium-sized businesses, not just in Kenya, but across Africa.
Very well. So what stood out for you in tech space in 2023?
So I think there are so many things that we can actually appreciate in the tech space that has happened. Yeah. But I think one of the key trends that we have actually seen, number one, is, for example, in terms of lending. Lending has actually grown a lot in the tech space. I was looking at the numbers, even from whatever the government is doing. They've done about 36 billion in terms of the Hustler Fund. Okay. Now look at the market as it is right now. The dollar is very high. The cost of living is very expensive. So how do businesses stay afloat? How do small businesses continue running the operational cost? How do they expand? So most of them are actually shifting a lot to actually getting credit. But the fact that we also have a lot of people who set up a very good infrastructure that you can actually get more real-time loans is actually a positive thing for these small businesses. So that's one of the key things that I've seen. There are a lot of companies that have come in, and again also in the world of e-commerce, we've seen a lot of spike in terms of the transactions that are coming in. And when you talk about e-commerce, it's a wide space. Okay, you can talk about the B2B, like what you talk about last mile distribution. Of course, some of the challenges have been seen in the last mile distribution. You've seen a few companies struggling when you get to last mile distribution. It's not something very positive, but there are also learnings from it.
Fair enough. AI, artificial intelligence, has been a big buzzword for majority of industries and is the biggest disruptor, I think, in the tech space. But apart from just AI, what else should people look out for in 2024? What's going to shape the 2024 tech space?
Now, everybody is talking AI. In fact, if you go somewhere and you pitch and you just say AI, people are asking now for your valuation, they're starting to do their DD, and you're almost getting money. Anyway, so the first, the first trend that we are looking into is artificial intelligence. As a company, as UserPoint, we are also focusing a lot on AI. Look at it this way. How big businesses have managed to grow is because they have proper data to actually make business decisions, okay? So even for us as UserPoint, one of the things we are doing, we are putting a lot of AI tools that allow these businesses to actually know how they need to, what they need to invest in, what they need to, so if, for example, if it's inventory, they know which are their fast-moving products, what they need to invest in at certain times of the day, etc. The market, there's another disruption that you're seeing in the market, but of course it has to have a lot of regulation. We're talking about blockchain and crypto, especially on the crypto side. As at 2021, the African market was doing about $20 billion a month. It is the fastest growing market, Africa, but it's the smallest market when you think about different markets, okay? However, the opportunities are immense. And so what needs to be done for that particular market? I think it's just a matter of regulation. With blockchain, again, you understand the security, the scalability, the flexibility that it actually provides to not just businesses, but also consumers is immense. So that's also a trend that we're actually seeing coming up. Things that you're seeing, of course, there's the world of IoT, which we don't speak about enough in this particular country. I think people have actually shifted a lot from it, but we need to have a lot of smart houses, smart lighting, across board, which are things that will come up definitely in 2024.
So this site tells me that there are about 2,200 cyber attacks on a daily basis, and these are the ones that are reported only. Wachana na ile bado hatujaambiwa. So that means there's of course demand for cybersecurity experts and all that. What other tech skills are needed in this market, and how are they going to shape how 2024 looks like for the young people who are venturing into tech and they want to get some tech skills?
So of course, the skills actually go hand in hand with the trends that are actually in the tech space. In Kenya, for example, we don't have enough AI experts, okay? So that's a big thing, and I don't think we have enough institutions that actually provide that education here. So I think there needs to be a lot of people going abroad to actually study this and bring that knowledge here. That's number one. Now, tied to artificial intelligence is also data analysis, because at the end of the day, as much as we can come up with algorithms that help to make informed decisions on the go, I think we also need a lot of analysis for data. Institutions are not just looking at what is happening currently, but want to see forecast projections, and not just forecasts and projections that are not based on historic data. Okay, so they actually need a lot of information to consume. So we are looking at people like, for example, accountants and finance people who are not just people who are doing data entry and the traditional tax returns that they do for you, but you're looking at people who can actually analyze data and help you visualize that data in a different kind of way. Other than that, I think we also need a lot of people in this cyber security space. You talked about the digital, the cyber attacks that are actually happening. For us to regulate most of these new emerging technologies that are coming up, then there also needs to be a lot of security. Because if we're able to safeguard these IPs, we're able to safeguard this tech infrastructure, then it becomes very easy for the regulators to actually be open for innovation. So I think those are some of the key things. Oh, one last thing I think I need to also mention is UI UX. We are moving from a point where we used to just jump onto a project and start implementation. The experience is something that is very, very big for users. So we need to also get people who understand. It's not just understanding the use of platforms, because even when you're building apps, are you able to tell the mood that this person should have when they're interacting with a certain feature?
Great. 2023 was, of course, a heavy year with regard to policies. Among them, the famous or infamous, depending on which lenses you wear, the famous or infamous Finance Act of 2023, and how it's going to affect influencers. Of course, they operate on the online platform, and that's why we are talking about them. But just how are some of the tech policies going to shape 2024 also?
I think what we need to advocate as people in the startup space is there needs to be a lot of consultation between the government and the people who are in this particular space. So if, for example, if it's the influencers and you're bringing attacks to do with the influencers, have they been put in a round table for them to engage? Because at the end of the day, we are in a market where we want to promote innovation. So if you come in and you're trying to put in a lot of barriers to innovation, then we are not doing ourselves enough justice, because let's talk about the influencers. And even for us, in terms of marketing, we invest a lot in influencers, and they're making a lot of money. I think, and there's a lot of money in that particular space, and I think that's why the government now is excited to tap into it. But I think what we need to do is actually have a lot of consultation and engagement, because again, for the country to run, it has to run based on the taxes that are paid. But we need a lot of consultation to see, is the 30% really valid, or is there a way we can work out a relationship where, yes, there's tax being paid, but it also not hinders innovation. Because at times when you also overtax people, they also push back. You get?
It's called the Laffer effect.
Yes,
Laffer curve.
yes, and it's something that is there. So you might try and put a lot of taxation into these things, and then bottlenecks. So I think that's how I look at it. But again, we can never stop innovation. There's a lot of content being created, and the content creates a lot of education as well. Consumers have an easy access to a wide range of products. We now have a lot of people being authentic, because you're able to, if Branch is using something, then I'll be able to know you've gone through the DD process, due diligence process, and you've validated that product is actually viable, and I'm able to consume that product. So there are good things with whatever we are seeing in this social space. We need to encourage it. I see people as young as 15 years, all the way to, 29 years, actually getting a lot of money, more than people in who are executives, probably even people who are even maybe the head of state. Someone is earning more than him.
Said it, actually.
Yes, he said it one day, and he told two people to stand. I think Jugush and he told them, these guys actually are making more money than I am. So it's actually a good thing, and we need to invest and encourage more young people to actually use their skills.
Last but not least, and this should be fun, what tech events are you looking forward to this year?
I think Africa Tech Summit is good, but I would want to actually do the ones outside Kenya. I think, so that will be exciting for me. I know they do in Rwanda, they do in South Africa, etc.
There's one in London.
Yes, there's one in London. Last year I was able to attend the London Tech Innovation Summit. The Africa Tech Summit was like a week after. I didn't manage to attend it, but I would want to attend the Africa Tech Summit across board, and there are many others.
Thank you so much for making time for us, Abraham. We really appreciate it. Well, then now you're up to speed with what you should be looking forward to in the tech space in 2024 and beyond. Time now for Startup of the Week. The gig economy is gradually changing the nature of how Kenya's workforce accesses jobs, shifting the source of work opportunities from informal labor to digital platforms. At least 1.2 million Kenyans are working online, earning an average of 20,000 shillings per month, according to a 2021 study by the Kenyan Ministry of ICT. The last decade has seen a spike in Kenyans accessing remote jobs and making a living through online work. In the same decade, there has been a sharp surge in cybercrime and money laundering through online payment platforms, leading to delays and sometimes, worst of all, blocking of payments of freelancers, with authorities disguising payments as proceeds of online fraud. This challenge led Benaya Wepundi and Jafet Achimba to come up with Paid, a fintech that assists freelancers to get paid directly with ease.
Basically, at Paid, you're building a payments platform, a payments and financial management platform for freelancers, creatives, and gig workers. Yeah, how that works is a freelancer is able to create a custom payments page or generate payment links and QR codes or automate their invoicing and receipting. And at the end of the day, the goal is just to have all their payments on one platform so that they can be able to track these payments and just understand their finances better.
Typical of a startup, they had to multitask, working in almost every category to see their child on its feet. Their innovation helped them win 4 million shillings grant under the incubation of Powerland Project PLP, a program that seeks to train 1 million African developers with modern in-demand tech skills. This grant includes a 3.5 million shillings milestone-based funding and an additional 500,000 Kenya shillings in technical support to develop their innovative payment platform further.
Yeah, it has been really an awesome journey, and us winning the Mozilla, I can say it's really a boost for us, because getting just that validation and people being able now to say, go, now your product is good, yeah, it's really awesome for us, and like it will enable us even now achieve our goals of scaling across Africa. Now we are like setting down like strategies of partnership and just being able to get into interactions and collaboration like with the guys already in the market, because as they say, on top here is just collaboration, there's no competition. Yeah, so just getting in that collaboration and ensuring like we get the right compliances, because as you know, fintech really attracts like many insecurities and stuff, so just being able to ensure that our product is safe for our users, being able to capitalize on cutting edge technologies like blockchain and artificial intelligence, and just getting to have the right compliances from different authorities.
Albert Kimani, head of programs at PLP, says that Paid stood out as one of the key solutions in their training that will address the skills gap currently witnessed in Africa.
So Paid is one of the projects coming out of the Powerland cohorts. Just to give context to that, the program design is such that it's a skills to work sort of program. So we are building skills for them to be applied immediately, as opposed to the traditional or the typical way at which educational institutions usually work. So for that, we included a component in the program such that for you to graduate, you're not necessarily doing tests and passing and getting A's or passes or failures. You are actually submitting an application that you're actually working on that is going to go out there and solve problems that are being experienced by the communities which we are living in.
Albert says with an ambitious goal of training 1 million young Africans, PLP has already trained a little over 10,000 students just a year after its launch, and with a footprint in 5 countries. He notes that apart from software engineering, the Internet of Things, data analytics, machine learning and artificial intelligence remain key sectors anyone interested in the tech world should pay attention to. And those are 2 young, innovative young men who are coming up with a fintech that is going to revolutionize how freelancers and gig workers get payments and all that. Now let's finish off with the tech tip of the week, and then we'll just close the show. If you are one of those who carry the thought that artificial intelligence is here to disrupt and take your job, then perhaps you are right. Are you always in a lot of meetings, virtual meetings to be specific? Chances are you need to take notes and sometimes listen in all through. Well, thanks to artificial intelligence, you may not need to do all that. Introducing Sembly AI. Sembly is an artificial intelligence-powered office assistant that records the conversation automatically from a virtual meeting, so you don't have to sit and listen in all through. It records and transcribes meetings, creating meeting summaries very easily and helps you note down your resolutions and take homes from the meeting and notes down your deliverables. This can be very good for you, especially if you do not have a budget for a personal secretary. It also records and transcribes meetings for you and tells you your deliverables. But while it does all this, it is sometimes buggy, not intuitive at the beginning to get on board, and sometimes the insights provided by the AI are not very actionable. The other downside is that despite the AI's inability to be human and compassionate, this AI is clearly going to get many people off the job market, especially if you did secretarial work. But hey, for the convenience, this is definitely worth it. Very well. You're up to speed with what's happening in the tech world. You know what you should expect in the tech space in 2024 and beyond. You're up to speed with what young people are innovating in the startup of the week. And of course, we've given you a tech tip of the week. This is how we'll be doing it every other week. And let me just send a special shout out to the ALX for giving us this space to film in. Thank you so much for tuning on to Takeover. This and so much more. See you next week, and may tech live forever.